They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho.
They're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stars in the House.
Happy Pride.
That's
I'm wearing
right.
my Provincetown shirt.
There you go.
Proud Rainbow Dad.
That's right. Stars in the House, our daily live stream we've been doing for the Actors Fund since March of 2020.
Yeah.
Yes, we have. Go ahead, Seth.
But I was going to say, we're going back. Are we describing what we're going back in time tonight to do? Or
Well, yeah. I mean, we can go ahead and tell people a little bit more about the Actors Fund. But go ahead.
We can tell you right before we show up, but just so you know, we're showing an amazing live concert tonight that we did a couple years ago. You know,
Yes,
love.
I took this from Julie's bathroom, actually. This is like, we had, a poster every month, and this one wasn't signed, but usually they were always signed. But I love the rainbow. It was a really magical night. It was in the Current Theater, which I guess, I don't know if Harry Potter's back there, but the Phantom of the Opera ran there for a really long time.
In San Francisco.
It's like a Broadway theater in San Francisco.
Yeah, so should we say
gorgeous.
which Concept of America was, or we're going to do that at the end?
And you can go ahead and say that
So
now.
we started in 2017. We did it every month. We did it all over the country, and we were raising money for these 5 different nonprofits. I'm trying to remember: Sierra Club, National Coalition Against Domestic Violence,
National Immigration Law Center, Southern Poverty Law Center, NAACP.
NAACP.
Right.
So we're raising money for all of those every month, and because it was always in a different city, it always had a different flavor, and sometimes there were people from the city, as you'll see.
We always like to have people from the city, so stars would fly in, and then people locally. So I know that locally we had stand-up comedian Margot
Gomez was hilarious. Plus, in the fact that it was Saturday night, it was actually very funny. You'll see.
Paula West.
Paula West, right? Who I'm still friends with on Facebook.
Is a singer. That's where we met her. Oh my God! So it's such a great song. The Gay Men's Chorus of San Francisco, or the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. I guess it's how. Yeah, right. They were local. Rory O'Malley was local because Hamilton was in town. Seth, I don't know because Paul Ewan edited this, so we don't have our. Normally, we speak to a representative from NAACP or different organizations, and this is an edited version of it. Did Rory, I don't know if we explained it or not, but if we didn't, he basically came over, was it right before his half hour? So he had to be on at the very, very top of the show, or after he had gone on. It was like, he somehow made it work to make an entrance as King George and then quickly left.
Yeah, so he was about to go do Hamilton, and that's why he had to open our show.
Right, and he was a king with queens.
Oh, this is very sweet. Look,
yes.
Wow, this is going by so fast. Hold on. Zach, I'm in a hospital bed watching you guys. Hi, Zach. Hope you get better. You'll love the show.
You'll love
you.
this show, absolutely.
And Greg Callahan's watching too. My friend Greg, who always helps me out in San Francisco. What is a stick, a stone?
That's right. Oh my God, she was so great. But Faith Prince, because she lives in Sacramento, she made the trip over. Kevin Chamberlain, why was he there? I'm trying to now. This is just fun to kind of think. Why were certain people there? Did he just fly up from LA?
I think they came up from LA, and
so did and Jane Lynch and Kate Flannery had just done a concert for America in May.
And Alan Cumming was there because I think he was coming back from Japan.
Yeah, Alan Cumming was already there,
but I think he was like doing a stop because I think like he landed in San Francisco. That's why. Remember, we said we said, when are you going to be in San Francisco? Like that. It was it was around his schedule,
and it happened. You know what? I bet he was doing something because this was Saturday night. It was the Saturday night like tonight. Right before Pride, I think he was doing something in Pride in San Francisco. That would make sense, right?
Yeah,
but that's why he was there. So we had, and then so Hal Sparks flew up. So you're going to see this great conversation between Seth and Hal and Sharon. I know they were just on, of course, a couple of days ago, but it's fun doing it in front of an audience, of course, a live audience there. But it's also Wilson Cruz happened to be in town, and Wilson popped over. So
it was the same theme we were talking about.
It was the same sort of thing.
Characters on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look, Ray was there. Hi, Ray. Wasn't that a great night? You're gonna love it when you watch it again. And by the way, Tig is totally using my phraseology. Rory had to do a solid 6 minutes of show. So I say about Phantom. The Phantom has a solid 9 minutes on stage.
That was true. Okay, of course, a big. I have to go get this right now. I'll be right back.
Oh, sure. I know what James is going to say. By the way, so Shoshana Bean, I think it was easy to get people from LA, and we love Shoshana. So Shoshana Bean, if you don't know her, she was Adina's standby in Wicked. She's the one who took over when Adina got injured on her final performance. Shoshana took over. So Shoshana was there, and also she just started in Waitress on Broadway. She closes out the show, and holy cow, she's amazing.
Oh my gosh. And then this hangs in our bathroom, literally. I got this on a trip to San Francisco before I met Seth. Anyone who's read the Tales of the City books knows that this letter to Mama is in the first book, right, Seth?
It's Mouse writing to his mom about being gay, and it's a kind of non-confrontational but very firm assurance of who he is. It's a really beautiful letter.
And if you don't know the book or the great miniseries starring Laura Linney and many others.
Now the musical, by the way, which I think is actually literally streaming as we speak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just our friend Mary Birdsong was in it.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. What were you going to
No, I was going to say it's a great letter. And when we knew Armistead was in San Francisco, and I can't remember how we even
lived. He lives there.
We contacted him. And
Forget how we contacted him.
I can't remember anything anymore, but we asked him if he would come on stage and read that amazing letter. And you were on stage too.
I had to be on stage. I was like, I was just like literally sitting cross-legged in front of him on the stage, center stage, looking up toward him. It was a really, really magical night. I just want to make
Greg
sure
is right, and Greg
anyone.
is saying Tales of the City, the musical, is streaming for 2 more days.
Oh, amazing!
So it's a musical. It's by Scissor Sisters by Jake, right? Jake Shears, I think, wrote the music for it.
So that's all coming. That's all coming up. That's
wow,
about
Ray remembers a lot. We got to sing to Sharon Gless backstage, made her cry. Wow, what a great night!
I believe that. We love Sharon. So that's tonight, and yes, we're still here for the Actors Fund, and our latest total is $997,400. That's how close we are
to $1 million. Wait a minute, right. Lily, what's his name? Dr. Evil, $1 million. Anybody? Austin Powers?
Oh, Austin Powers.
Go on, because I just realized I was saying it. Okay, go on.
That's how close we are. So we're officially $2,600 away from $1 million.
That's why our Wednesday show, we have to go to $1 million. So everyone needs to watch our Wednesday show, Wednesday 8 p.m. Eastern. Watch our Tuesday show, because that's going to be filled with Brenda Braxton's Sassafras.
Yeah, so Brenda had a whole show scheduled. I don't quite know who she had, but we're not going to name names anyway, because everyone who comes on Stars in the House is volunteering their time. But basically, she was like in a bit of a panic because her guest canceled, and we were like, Brenda, you've guest hosted so many shows. Why don't you, do a best of? So David, thankfully, said he would do it. He's going to do that on Monday. So Brenda and David are going to work together to figure out like a best of Brenda Braxton or Lady
that's
Braxton.
Gonna be so fun.
Really fun.
Just all those entrances.
And Brenda will introduce it live, and then Brenda will be with us live the next evening.
I agree. Does she know?
Does Brenda know? Yes,
she the sass is hilarious.
But David, you'll let us know if you don't hear from Brenda by Monday. Okay.
Thumbs up.
Oh, you have. He has.
Wow.
He's heard from Brenda. That's amazing. So Brenda does indeed know. Okay. Before we have let David hit it here.
We did game night last night.
Okay. So it's not an embarrassing story. I did it in my embarrassing story last night, but I enjoy reading. I'm not a speed reader like Seth. This is all leading to a clue that Aaron gave last night. So Seth is a major speed reader. I'm someone who reads where I read it aloud in my head, and I kind of act out. I have to picture everything. I say the dialogue the way that I would if I were reading it aloud to Julie when she was a little girl. So I'm a slow reader, not super slow, but I'm slow enough that it's just like I just can't. I prefer television, if I really had to be honest. But I enjoy reading. But so that leads to my mom got me 3 sets of books when I was a kid. I read none of them. I didn't read the Little House on the Prairie set that she got me one Christmas. I didn't read the set of Nancy Drew books that she got me one Christmas. And I didn't read
any of that. I would have totally read that.
I know you would have. And I didn't read the set of Hardy Boy books, and we're getting my mom a new bookshelf, and Julie's been repainting my mom's part of the house, and I just happened to see the book I never read when I was a kid that my mom still has, The Mystery of Cabin Island. And if you remember, because last night letter was F, sure enough, not that I ever doubted Aaron Dye, but Franklin W. Dixon.
So you had all these books in the house, and you were in a state of shock when that author name came up, even though you had that book for 60 years.
Yeah, except guess what, Seth? You know whose team he was on?
No, but when I came back the second time, you're like, I just don't remember the name.
Oh, that is true.
And by the way, I just said you had the book for 60 years and you didn't even argue.
Oh, wait a minute. No.
All right, and on that note, what else?
I will say it's been over 40 years.
It's all good. By the way, for those of you that are wondering, I did not read any of those books, but I would have. The books that I read that were very similar were The Three Investigators. Any Three Investigator fans out there? And Danny Dunn. I was obsessed with Danny Dunn and Three Investigators. And I just bought a recent Danny Dunn book. Mandy, what's the matter with you?
Mandy, you'll come watch the concert.
Okay, so we're going to watch this amazing concert.
We're going to watch. David's going to take over here, and we'll see everyone on Wednesday.
Oh, and by the way, I don't even know if I have any viewers in Rochester, but I just booked a show in Rochester, New York. I'm going to be in Rochester for 2 shows in mid-July.
It was a little tricky to find it. So is it on your website?
It's on my website. If you go to SethRudetsky.com.
Okay, SethRudetsky.com. It'll be... Other than your coming up show with Sierra Boggess in Provincetown, this is definitely going to be your first deconstructing show that you've done in a very long time, live in front of an audience in the house. What was I going to? I was going to say one more thing. Oh, the last thing I'll say, not to bring a downer on it, but we have gotten some emails from people that are very nice, saying, "Can I come on Wednesday? Can I come on Wednesday?" And the reality is, it's a small space,
really small theater,
and it's for. We keep coming up with people that, oh my gosh, they volunteered for 2 months in May and June. We need to invite them, and
it's for our staff,
staff and volunteers. Yeah, for people who have done that, and really the list. We thought it was going to be 75. The place seats around 150, and it's already grown quite a bit over 75.
And we're also, by the way, having these companies sponsor some fun things. We only asked for 75 of those things. We sort of have to.
Yeah, I'm already like put that on Jen Wace's lap and Kara Serber. I'm like, I don't know what to do. We only have 75 this and this, 75 this and that, and can you please take care of it? So, but let's just say tune in on Wednesday live.
Yeah, tune in Wednesday live for a special announcement.
For a special announcement, and
that'll solve some of the issues of the emails we're having.
Very well said, Seth.
Sure.
In a very mysterious yet honest way.
Thank you.
So, David, take it away, and happy Pride.
Enjoy this concert, guys. Bye, everyone. Happy Pride.
Good. Welcome to Concert for America, San Francisco. It's Pride.
King George from the San Francisco production of Hamilton. Wait a minute. Don't you have a show right now?
Oh, yes, but I don't enter until about 20 minutes into Act 1, so that's when the show really gets started. Let's face it.
I kind of like the opening number.
Yeah, what about the Schuyler sisters?
Actually, room where it happens.
Silent subjects. Now, since I own England and these United States, I hereby declare this Concert for America Day. Rejoice, people.
I'm very impressed.
I know. There's really nothing more impressive than a king.
Well, how about a queen?
Whoa.
It's Heclina!
Hi, San Francisco. Hello, King.
Well, hello.
Hi.
That's a pleasure. We're just about to start the opening number.
Oh, wonderful.
Ye Old English Lullaby from Hampshire on Avon.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm sorry. It is Gay Pride Weekend. I'm sorry to interrupt, but can we have something with a little more sass, please?
Well, sass is inappropriate for a king. We shall sing in a proper style, beginning with my Italian manservant, Pasquale.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Keep thinking I could never live without you by my side.
But then I spent so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along.
Okay, that's pretty good, but come on, you guys. I don't need a disco nap right now. Can we have something with a little bit more tempo? Come on, let's pick it up a little bit.
face. You should have changed that stupid lock I should have made. You leave me be. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me.
Oh, now no. Walk out the door. Don't turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Were you the one who tried to break me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and cry?
I will survive. As long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I've got all my life to live, and I've got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey.
With you, and so you expect a compliment and just expected to agree. Now I'm saving all my loving for someone who's loving me. Go on now, go, walk out the door, just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll be alive. I got all my love to live, I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive.
Okay. Seth has to get a mic.
Let me see that.
So we're talking about our first concert being on January 20th, and the little bit of background actually kind of has to do with the Bay Area. And I'll tell you about it. We had thought about doing the concert. Do you remember that there were all these memes going around? Like, there was going to be a huge concert with Beyonce and like all these people. Remember like that? And it's going to be in Florida or somewhere crazy.
So we're like, I guess we don't need to do ours.
Yeah.
Cut to. Basically, James was like, we should do it. I'm like, I don't know. We can't compete with that. And finally, on December 30th, I was in Florida. Gaiman's Chorus, start entering while we babble. You're supposed to be like really giving the audience some eye candy. So basically, keep getting to, hey, I'm going to call you out in a second. So basically what happened was December 30th, I was like, we can't do it. And James called me and was like.
And I said, no one's going to do it. We have to do something. I don't want to be at home on January 20th just like, well, definitely not watching something that was going on TV. And I thought, well,
we're
we can
nonpartisan.
We are. But, yeah, doomsday. Anyway, and I thought, well, we need a ton of help. So we called our friend Joey, who got his business partner, Frankie, involved. But I thought, well, it's only 3 weeks. And I had heard about this Change.org petition. And it was about a concert. And I thought, and it had like thousands, tens and tens of thousands of signatures. And so I thought, well, maybe I should just like try to get a hold of the person who started the Change.org petition. And I emailed her, and she literally emailed me back. And I think maybe
like
within
an hour later, it was like 10 o'clock at night.
I was on the phone with her, and that woman is here.
Thank you, Trish.
Trish Gilbert.
Okay, so speaking of amazingness, we have a certain group of men from a certain city, San Francisco, Gaiman's Chorus. Look how many there are to sing something joyful. Let's hear it. Thanks, guys. Have fun.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small.
You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You could be the outcast or be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. But I wonder what could happen. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show. I wanna see you, just wanna see you. I wanna see you, I wanna see you be great. Show me your smile. Everybody's been there, everybody's told me I'm now. You can't remember what you're fearing. That's just how I saw you out there to the party. This world makes so crazy. And you're taking on your heaven. Just call me, maybe there's a way out of days where we've been. Call me up one of these days and get the light in. Call me up, come on. I'll make your brave and say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. What you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. Don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful. And since your history of silence, I can't remember when I saw you laughing. Let your words be anything but empty. Just call me up and you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through the words. I see your true colors. I wanna see you like a
Office star Kate Flannery and star of the Brady Bunch Live, Jane Lynch.
Hi, I'm America's Jane Lynch. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you so much. And this is the drunk from the office, Kate Flannery.
What's up? Happy Pride! Maybe somebody will buy me a drink.
Yeah, don't anybody buy her a drink. Don't anybody buy her a drink. So you're going to do this with me. I was just wondering why you were following hot on my heels.
There's not a lot of security backstage, by the way.
I noticed that, yeah.
Thanks.
So anyway, I've always been admirous. Is it admirous or admirous?
Admirous.
Admirous. Is it espresso or espresso?
Don't ask me.
How about clitoris or clitoris?
That is the question before us.
Indeed it is, Kate. Indeed it is.
Is it amyl nitrate or anal nitrate?
Being that it's Pride Week, I would guess both. So, you're blushing. I embarrassed you right now, didn't I?
And Jane, my underpants are on backwards.
That's good to know. Thank you, honey.
No. Yeah. Well, no, yeah. I mean, do you want me to sing with you?
I would like you to sing with me. Are you?
But Jane, listen, I have nothing prepared.
Oh, okay.
Hit it. What a melancholy choice this is, wanting home, wanting him. enough to make you understand why I do what I do, why I must travel to a distant land, far from the home I love. Once I was happily content to be as I was, where I was, close to the people who were close to me, here in the home I love. Who could see that a man would come who would change the shape of my dreams? Helpless now I stand with him, watching older dreams grow deep. What a melancholy choice this is, wanting home, wanting him, closing my heart to every hope but his, living the home I love, love, love. Who could see that a man would come who would change the shape of my dreams? So helpless, now I stand with him, watching older dreams grow dim. Oh, what a melancholy choice this is, wanting home, wanting him, closing my heart to every hope but his, leaving the home I love, far from the home I love, leaving the home I love, yet there with my love. I'm so out of breath. Hold on. Oh, God. You good? Yeah. Okay. I have a head rush. Oh, God, I walked up the hill. Amyl nitrate or anal nitrate? Oh, you love your poppers, Jane. Okay.
Jane Lynch, Kate Flannery, amazing harmony. Isn't that great? So good.
So much fun.
Okay, what do I have to say? Oh, yeah. So in our very first concert, and you can see a lot of these online, by the way. We have a lot of clips, and the main website is concertsforamerica.com. And to the Who. We had this wonderful violinist, Jorge Avila, from Honduras.
And he told us that one of the things that he needed to do, basically, when he was living in his home country was get out, not because he didn't love the country, but because there weren't opportunities for him as a violinist.
No, not at all. He could never have made a living as a violinist in Honduras. So it was really important for him to become a citizen in the U.S. to basically reach his full potential.
And he really has. I mean, he's already played at Carnegie Hall 5 times.
Yeah. I played there once, 20 years ago. And to the Who.
So we wanted to continue the classical artist feature, and to do that, we want to welcome Bay Area's own Pasquale Esposito.
Yes.
Come on out.
So handsome. Here, come in the middle. Okay, so Pasquale, you're from where?
I was born in Naples, Italy.
That's his real accent. So cute.
Some of them can get confused and think I was born in Naples, Florida. It happened all the time because the accent. You know.
So what was your process towards citizenship?
I was very lucky to win the green card with the lottery and moved to this country crazy enough without speaking any word in English. And I know what you're thinking. You still don't speak one word in English. But work very hard and work in the entertainment business.
Why did you want to come here?
It's the land of the opportunity where your dream can come true if you work very hard.
That's so nice. I just love that. Okay, so we asked Pasquale to show the amazing voce, because Italians are known for their voce. So why don't we first, let's hear some of that amazing track. Hit that track, please. Hold on, let's hear if it actually works. What does silence mean? Okay. So basically, we wanted to sound operatic, and we have a full rock band, and it was completely inappropriate. So we have this fabulous pre-recorded, so it sounds like a full orchestra. So just pretend that we're a full orchestra as you watch, and actually listen to the track and listen to the amazing voice. Hit some high notes, I beg of you. Oh. Wow. Start at the beginning again.
We can keep chatting.
Cosa Pasquale.
About the universe.
Where were you when you found out that you won the lottery? Were you in New York or were you?
No, I was actually in Naples, Italy, and they called me and they say, you won the lottery, and I say, how much? Say, if you won, you can move to the United States and work very hard. That's what I did.
Pretend I'm playing the violin. Still got it.
Che bella cosa, una giornata di sole, un'aria serena, dopo una tempesta, l'aria fresca, pare già una festa. Che bella cosa, è una giornata di sole, manato sole, più bello in e o sole mia, sta in fronte a te. Oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te, sta in fronte a te. Quando fa notte, io solo sanno scena, aveva quasi una malinconia sotto la finestra tua restaria quanta fa notte io sola sanna scena fronte a te, oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te, sta in fronte a te. Fronte a te, sta in fronte a te.
Pasquale Esposito. Yes. Thank you, Pasquale. Isn't that beautiful? It actually makes me like opera. I'm a Broadway cat. And into the hoop, we want to bring out 3 television people that I feel have really had an impact on the LGBTQ community. So please welcome to the stage Hal Sparks, Sharon Gless, and Wilson Cruz. Hi, Hal. You stand next to Hal. Hi, Wilson. Stand on this side. It's better for the cameras. So I think all of them have had an impact. So I've not really discussed this with them, but how do you feel that your character, he was on a TV show called Queer as Folk. Anybody?
Apparently.
Did you ever have any interactions or emails or anything with people about it?
Yeah, I mean, it started with, we launched December 15th of 2000, and I very distinctly remember leading up to it, we had a conversation with our execs because of the age of the character of Justin and the age of the character of Brian. They literally had a conversation like, we might not be able to air. And we had shot for 6 months, and they're like, this, and everybody's like, well, but the age of consent is, we're fine with that, right? And they went, no, in a lot of states, there is no age of consent for gay people. If they're 50, we can get thrown off the air. And that, we literally had to wait with bated breath as the lawyers for Showtime worked it out with cable systems all over the country, hoping we would be able to even launch. And I, obviously, and again, on Talk Soup, I did a number of talk shows, and I was a guest on the constantly on shows. And then the minute they had to chyron the word queer under my name, the offers dried up. I'm dead serious. There was a bellwether shift just because they didn't want to chyron the word. And so, as much as we're in a kind of a hazy world right now, that change has been extraordinary. And it has a lot to do with everybody in this room and the marches to Town Hall from Harvey Milk that we all participated in for marriage equality. So I thank you guys.
It's a really big deal. So Wilson was on My So-Called Life, and it was recently, by the way, remember? There was recently a list of like the most, iconic gay characters, and I don't know if you saw, but you were on it. You still got it. Thanks. So he was talking about the launch of the show. Do you remember, did you have to audition, or was it off? You were really young. It wasn't offer only. You had to audition, right?
No, it was not offer only. I was actually 19 years old. I had never auditioned for a pilot ever. I didn't know what a pilot was. I was a boy from Brooklyn, did theater and learned how to tap. And I had an agent, and my agent called me and said, there's this script. I wasn't out. You ever heard of a glass closet? But she calls me up and she says, listen, there's this script and there's a role in it and I think you might relate to it. So I read the script and I honestly felt like someone had followed me around through high school. And so I knew who this person was. And so I got an audition and I put on the tightest red jeans, Levi jeans that I had on, a pair of Doc Martens, and I sprayed the front of my curls into a thing, and I threw on some eyeliner and a rainbow shirt, not kidding, and walked into my audition, and there were 3 boys in there who were dressed in khakis and a polo, and I said, they're screwed. So I walked into my audition with Mary Goldberg. I did my 2 little scenes. She said, thank you so much for coming in. And I was about to walk out the door, and there was a moment when I was reaching for the doorknob, and I thought, and I turned back around and I said to her, I don't know if I'm ever gonna see you again, but I wanna say thank you to whoever wrote this, because when I was a teenager, all I ever wanted to do was see myself on TV and recognize myself as being valuable. And she said, save it for the producers.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
He got the part.
Yeah. No, that's what she was saying, save it for the producers.
You're the subtext.
Yeah.
It's so literal. No, it was a good sign. All right. So if you don't know, so House Sparks on Queer as Folk, and his wonderful mom was played by Sharon Gless. So Sharon was a very gay-positive mom. Do you know what kind of an impact your character had on the world? Did you ever hear from any fans?
Oh yeah, well, especially when we were shooting. Actually, I want to tell how I got this job,
sure,
and then I'll tell you about the letters. Somebody sneaked me the script to Queer as Folk, and I read it, and I called Jerry Offsay, the head of Showtime, and I said, I want this part. And he said, you don't want this part. There's no money in it. It's in Canada. I said, I want this part, Jerry. And he said, you know, I like the idea. Maybe you'll bring a little class to the project. And I said, Jerry, class is not what I had in mind. Anyway,
why did you want the part, by the way?
Because I thought it was so daring, and it had never been done, and it needed to be heard, the stories of these boys and the women. And when I went on, so Jerry flew me from Chicago to Los Angeles to meet the producers. He said, I don't want to run roughshod over my producers. I'd like them to meet you. And I said, great, thank you. And so I went and met them, and I asked them, I said, listen, I know how it is with scripts, pilot scripts. They're daring, they're wonderful, because you want to get the money for it. But they never shoot that, you know, they don't. And I said to Ron and Dan, I said, I have one question. Are you going to shoot what I read in this script? They said, every frame. I said, then send me in, coach, because I want to be there.
Great.
It was so daring. Anyway, the result of it was, I was saying to Seth, I got lots of letters, but one I remember in particular thanking me for, you know, playing Debbie, and that he was still alive because of the show. He had wanted to end his life. And the show came on, and he said, I have a reason to live now. He said, my best friend committed suicide because your show wasn't on yet. And he thanked us all for saving him, and all of us got mail like this, that it changed the lives of the gay community because no one had done a show like that before. And anyway, I'm talking a lot.
No,
but
it's beautiful.
I would like to say for the record, though, with the dignity and beauty of both of you getting the roles the way that you did, my audition didn't actually work out that way because apparently no one wanted to audition for the show. People just wouldn't come in. And Ron and Dan were relatively demoralized by this fact. And I got the script. I didn't call Jerry out. Nobody snuck it to me. There was no audition. My manager literally, it was like he had salad tongs and a hazmat suit on. He was like, okay, if you do this and it ruins your career, it's not my fault. And he basically chucked it at me, and I read it, and it passed what I call the Malkovich test. It needs to be done. And so I was like, I'll audition. When can I go in? And I went in, and Ron and Dan, our execs, were sitting there, and I auditioned. And in the middle of it, Ron leaned over while I was doing my scene and went, did you know he could act? That was it. That was how I got the part. Did you know he could act?
It's a good sign.
That's true.
Wait, can I say one other thing? My agent, after I met Ron and Dan and I got the part, my agent said, I would never let you do that show. That's a filthy, filthy show. Swear to God. And I said, well, I just got the part, so negotiate it.
Right. Make it work.
So much sass. So much sass.
I just want to say one thing, because you gave actors microphones. I just want to wish every single one of you the happiest pride you've ever had.
Yeah.
You've earned it.
That's what we want from this concert.
It's
Okay,
so weird to be here and not singing.
Wilson is going to introduce our next guest because he's connected to him right now.
I am. Our next guest is one of our finest actors, and I am humbled and privileged to call him my friend, and even more privileged to say that I got to be in a movie with him, which is the closing night film at Frameline tomorrow night called After Louie. Please welcome the incomparable Alan Cumming.
On nights like this, when the world's a bit amiss and the lights go down across the trailer park, I get down, I feel high, I feel on the verge of going mad. Then it's time to punch the clock. I put on some makeup, I turn on the tape deck, and put the wig back on my head. And suddenly I'm this Midwest midnight checkout queen until I head home and I've put myself to bed. I look back on where I'm from, look at the woman I've become, and the strangest things seem suddenly obscene. I look up from my vermouth on the rocks, the gift-wrapped wig still in the box of towering velveteen. I put on some makeup, some Laverne Baker. I'm pulling the wig down from the shelf, and suddenly I'm Miss Beehive 1963. Until I wake up and I turn back, you think that luck has left you there. Maybe there's nothing up in the sky but air. No, there's no mystical design, no cosmic lover pre-assigned. There's nothing you can find that cannot be found. And if you've got no other choice, you know you can follow my voice through the back turns and noise of this wicked little town. Some girls, they got natural ease, they wear it any way they please, whether French fit girls and perfumed magazines. Wear it up, wear it down. This is the best way that I've found to be the best you've ever seen. I put on some makeup, I turn on the 8-track. I'm pulling a wig down from the shelf. And suddenly I'm this punk rock star of stage and screen. Until I wake up and I turn back to myself. I turn back to myself. I turn back to myself.
So, last year I wrote this show on Broadway called Disaster, and one of the main reasons why I wrote, hey guys, one of the main reasons why I wrote it is I read Charles Busch's amazing book called Horrors of Lost Atlantis, where it's basically about him writing Vampire Lesbians of Sodom, and he wrote this show basically to be surrounded by his friends, and I was so inspired by that, I wanted to write a show to be surrounded by my friends, and I did. And one of my castmates was my friend for at least 20 years, the amazing Tony nominee, Kevin Chamberlain. Kevin, come on out. Hi, Kevin. Talk about your song for Pride.
It's so amazing being here for San Francisco Gay Pride this weekend. I love that it coincided with this. The first time I came to San Francisco Pride was in 1991 with my husband of now 26 years.
Wow.
And I wanted to sing something special here for this weekend. So there is a familiar song from The Wizard of Oz, a gay anthem, might be called, that I would now like to do for you. If I were king, you're the first. Not queen, not duke, not prince. My regal robes of the first would be satin, not cotton, not chintz. I'd command each thing, be it fish or fowl, with a woof and a woof and a royal growl. Woof. As I click my heels, all the trees would kneel, and the mountains bow, and the bulls kowtow, and the sparrow would take wing. I were king. Each rabbit would show respect at me, the chipmunk genuflect at me. My tail would lash, I would show compassion for every underling. If I were king, or just a king.
Well, Your Majesty, if you were king, you wouldn't be afraid of anything?
Not nobody, not no how.
Not even a rhinoceros.
Impossimus.
How about a hippopotamus?
I'd thrash him from top to bottomus.
Supposing you met an elephant?
I'd wrap him up in cellophant.
What if it were a brontosaurus?
I'd show him who's king of the forest.
How?
How? Courage. What makes a king from a slave? Courage. What makes the flag on the mast to wave? Courage. What makes the elephant charge his tusk in the misty mist of the dusky dusk? What makes the muskrat guard his musk? Courage. What makes the Sphinx the seventh wonder? Courage. What makes the dawn come up like thunder? Courage. What makes the Hottentot so hot? What put the ape in apricot? What they got that I ain't got?
Courage!
You can say that again. For courage is the thing of kings. With courage I'll be king of kings. And all year round I'll be hailed and crowned by every living thing.
Chamberlain.
Faith Prince. Chris Goodrock.
Thank you, Christopher and Faith. Now, San Francisco's own, the amazing Paula West. Thank you, Paula.
A stick, a stone, it's the end of the road. It's the rest of a stump, it's a little alone. It's a sliver of glass, it is life, it's the sun. It is night, it is death, it's a trap, it's a gun. The oak when it blooms, a fox in the brush. The knot in the wood, the song of a thrush. The wood of the wind, the cliff of fall. A scratch, a lump, it is nothing at all. It's the wind blowing free, it's the end of the slope. It's a beam, it's a void, it's a hunch, it's a hope. And the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the end of all strain, it's the joy in your heart. The foot, the ground, the flesh and the bone. The beat of the load, a slingshot stone. A fish of flesh, a silvery glow. A fire, a bed, the range of the bow. The bed of the whale, the end of the line. The dismay in the face, it's a loss, it's a fight. A spear, a spike, a point, a nail. A drip, a drop, the end of the tale. A A truckload of bricks in the soft morning light, the shot of a gun in the dead of the night. A mile, a must, a thrust, a bump. It's a girl, it's a rhyme, it's the cold, it's the mumps, the plan of the house, the body in bed, and the car that got stuck. It's the mud, it's the mud. A float, a drift, a flight, a wing, a hawk, a quail. The promise of spring and the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the promise of life, it's the joy in your heart. Snake, a stick, it is John, it is Joe. It's the thorn in your hand and the cut in your toe. A point, a grain, a bee, a bite, a blink, a buzzard, a sunstroke of night, a pin, a needle, a sting, a pain, a snail, a riddle, a wasp, a stain. A pass in the mountains, a horse and a mule. In the distance, the shells run three shadows of blue. And the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the promise of love in your heart, in your heart. A stick, a stone, the end of the road, the rest of a stump, a lonesome road. A sliver of glass, a life, the sun, a night, a death, the end of the run. And the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the promise of love. It's the joy in your heart.
Paula West. Bye-bye. Isn't that great? Paula's going to be at Feinstein's at the Nico starting on, what's the date? July 6th, Feinstein's at the Nico. I just love, God, it's such a cool jazz voice. What's up?
There is, as we know, a lot of stuff that's kind of mind-bogglingly depressing these days, but one of the reasons that we do these concerts is to bring us together, and music is one way to do it, but so is comedy, and we're so happy to welcome Bay Area native, award-winning Marga Gomez.
Yay, Marga.
Come on out, Marga.
Yay, Marga.
Give it up for the band.
Yes, band.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, man. Paula West. What about Paula West? You know, I have this. Here, could you hold that for me? Oh, thanks, Kara. So I'm on first name basis with the orchestra, but who I really love is that fourth balcony up there. You're getting the same show as them. I just don't know your names, but I can tell you that everybody's seeing the same thing. I'm 18 inches tall with no facial features. And I mean you, middle-aged people. I want to say hello to all our friends watching the live stream on Facebook. What an amazing Pride Saturday night they're having. I would also like to, I know we're not supposed to say anything controversial, but I would just like to say one thing, Seth. I would like to talk to the president of Facebook, Tom. It's a MySpace joke.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, the front row gets it. Keep up, fourth balcony.
I would like to talk to the person in charge of Facebook, and I would like to ask you, when the heck am I going to get my pride emoji? Everybody you got your pride emoji, you know, where you can like or love or be angry emojis. And then they started rolling out the pride emojis. And I was going, when am I going to get my pride emoji? Because I'm the gayest person on Facebook. But it hasn't happened. My straight allies have gotten their pride emojis. And if I don't get my pride emoji by July, I'm joining Christian Mingle. That's all. The reason I'm here tonight, sisters and brothers and cousins, exes, is to talk to the young people. The young people who are here in San Francisco and enjoying maybe their first Pride ever, because that's what Pride is really. Pride is like one of the holidays, like Christmas. It's for the kids. And a lot, right? It's for the kids. It's new to them. The rainbow, wow, that's cool.
So true.
And I live in the Castro, and that's right. And I almost couldn't get here because the young people just kept stopping me and asking me questions. Because they look up to me as a gay historian. And so, oh, look, there's an old lesbian. Let me ask her. And, yeah, that's not that funny. You know, but they're all like, oh, please tell us, and we know you're on your way to a fancy show, but tell us, what was it like back in the day? Back in the early days of gay liberation, what was it like for you and Gertrude Stein? Frida Kahlo? And I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I don't begrudge them the desire, the thirst for knowledge that they so clearly are demonstrating, and I wish that I could answer their questions because, my friends, I was there back in the early days. Back in the day, I was there, but I can't remember because I was so high back in the day. So all I can tell the youth is I should have bought property. That's my advice for the young people watching on Facebook tonight. I do remember something from back. I remember all the dialogue, all the processing. I remember my first lover and I, we went to a workshop for lesbians in monogamous relationships, and she met someone there. And that was part of how we grew. Okay, who's smoking? All right, a quick question. Are there any straight ladies here? Please applaud if you are a heterosexual, heteroflexible. Yes, okay, all right. I could feel it. I could feel your energy. I could feel it. I could feel you're thinking, oh, Mark is having fun. I want to be a lesbian too. How do I get started? Slow down, straight lady. Slow down. It's way more complicated than it used to be. Because back in the day, it was very simple. You were butch or you were femme. But now look at this blouse. See, it's very... Forever 41. All right? Doesn't make me a femme, though. It doesn't. No, but doesn't make me a butch. I'm a subset. I'm what they call a soft butch. So let me explain, those of you who are visiting from out of town in Walnut Creek, let me tell you what they're people too. By a soft butch, what I mean is, like a butch, I refuse to wear dresses and heels. But I'm a soft butch, so I also don't want to carry anything heavy, run fast, or play sports. I'm single, ladies. I'm single, and and it's not easy. And when my relationship was over, I had a lot of heartache, as lesbians do. And I want to thank the gay men who have helped me through my breakup. Gay men are the people you should go to when you're going through a breakup. For me, it was like queer eye for a codependent lesbian. My friend Tom was just so tough with me. He just wouldn't have it. He wouldn't have any self-pity. He was like, don't call her. Girl, don't call her. Girl, put that phone down here, take these pills. But I want to, before I go, just tell you all, I love you all. I don't care if you're gay, you're straight, you're bi, you're trans, you're hetero, flexible. I don't care. That's not what matters. What matters is if you're a top or a bottom. That's... Okay. That's not dirty. I was just talking about fashion choices. Folks who are visiting here again, remember BART doesn't go 24 hours. And thank you so much for donating to these organizations, because if we don't do it, obviously we don't have that fallback that was called a government. Not to be controversial, but we kind of have to do it ourselves, and we have to keep digging, and these are incredible organizations. And so thank you, Seth and James. And just before I go, if I could just, if this is your first time in San Francisco, this is the summer of love. So please try the marijuana, just to say that you've done it. But be careful, because it's very strong. There's a vape going on back there that I don't know. Just don't get too high. Just try it a little bit, see how you feel, because I did too much. I really did a big balloon thing of it. And then I started freaking out at the dispensary. And, I thought, oh, everybody's looking at me. And they were, because I was doing this. And then I ran out of there. I don't know if you've ever gotten so high that you're paranoid, but that's a Saturday night for me. And I'm running down Mission Street, and I feel like somebody's chasing me. I was so high. Don't let that happen to you, because I felt like they were tapping me, and yet I was high, and it was ruining. And then finally, I stopped, and I faced. There was nobody there. It was my hoodie. So be careful, folks. Thank you very much. I'm Marga Gomez.
Hey, Marga! So this next song, we like to kind of relate everything. And I love this song, and you may think the lyrics don't relate at all, but you kind of have to transfer them in your head. So I love, by the way, the Southern Poverty Law Center stands for basically justice, which this country was founded on. So when you hear this next song, replace the word city with country, and replace the word rock and roll with justice. And then it's totally going to make sense and be completely related. So please welcome to the stage, amazing high belter, Hal Sparks!
Hi! Thank you.
So Hal's with all my amazing backup singers. You guys ready? One, two, 1, 2, 3.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Hey! Say you don't know me or recognize my face. Say you don't care who goes to that kind of place. Knee deep in the hoopla, sinking in your fight. Too many runaways, eating up the night. Marconi plays the mamba. Listen to the radio. Don't you remember? We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Someone always playing corporation games. Who cares? They're always changing. Corporation names. We just want to dance here. Someone stole the stage. They call us irresponsible. Write us off the page. Marconi plays the mambo. Listen to the radio. Don't you remember? We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. It's just another Sunday in a tired old street. Police have got the chokehold. Oh, but we just lost the beat. Who counts the money underneath the bars? Who drives the wrecking ball into our guitars? Don't tell us you need us, 'cause we're the ship of fools, looking for America, running through your school.
Gorgeous night looking at the Golden Gate Bridge, but I'm seeing nothing but bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Don't you remember?
But you're listening to your favorite rock station in the greatest city of them all, San Francisco.
Marconi plays the mambo. Listen to the radio. Don't you remember? We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city now. Built this city. We built this city. We built this city now. Built this city. We built this city. We built this city now. Built this city. We built this city on rock and
I know we're not supposed to do controversial things, but that one, Billboard's #1 the year it came out, and worst song ever. So the controversy still stands. Thank you, San Francisco. Have a great Pride.
Thank you, House Bars. So, I don't want to brag for her, but when she performed this number, she did win a Tony Award.
No pressure. The average unmarried female, basically insecure, due to some long frustration, may react with chronic organic syndromes, toxic or hypertense, upper respiratory tract. In other words, just from waiting around for that plain little band of gold, a person can develop a cold. You can spray her wherever you figure the streptococcus lurk, and give her a shot for whatever she's got, but it just won't work. If she's tired of getting the fisheye from the hotel clerk, a person can develop a cold. Oh, it says here, the female remaining single, just in the legal sense. shows an erotic tendency. C note. C note. Oh. Clever. Chronic organic syndromes. Toxic or hypertense. Involving the ear and the eye and the nose and the throat. In other words, just from worrying whether the wedding is on or off, a person can develop a cough. You can feed her all day with the vitamin A and the bromo fizz, but the medicine never gets anywhere near where the trouble is. If she's getting the kind of a name for herself and the name ain't his, a person can develop a cough. And furthermore, just installing the wedding trip, a person can develop a grip. When they get on the train for Niagara, and she can hear church bells chime, the compartment is air conditioned, and the mood sublime. Then they get off at Saratoga for the 14th time. A person can develop la grippe, la post-nasal drip, with the wheezes and the sneezes and the sinus that's really a pip. From a lack of community property and a feeling she's getting too old, a person can develop a bad cold.
Faith Prince at the high note. Work.
I first heard of Tales of the City through the miniseries, not the book. And I kind of caught it by accident. I was just at home in my bedroom, and the television turned. I think it was on PBS, right? And I didn't know what it was. And I think it was probably the middle of the first episode. And I looked at it and couldn't keep my eyes off the TV set and wondered, what the hell is this? And I recognized some of these people. And I wasn't out yet. And I watched it and, of course, devoured the whole miniseries and went and got every single book and read them all. And a year later, I did come out. And I 100% believe that the man that we're about to introduce contributed to me feeling confident enough in myself and recognizing that there were other people out there that were like me, who craved a relationship like everybody else. And it's my pleasure to welcome to the stage the man who wrote those books, Mr. Armistead Maupin.
Here he is. Amazing. Mouse, let's be honest.
This is a great show, you guys. I've been out there drinking vodka in the audience, and it's enormous. It makes me think of the old Playboy After Dark, where Hugh Hefner would stroll around and bring out the next act. It's so smooth, and it looked like a rat fuck backstage. I don't know how you do it.
Everybody loves doing it. So first of all, let me just say I'm obsessed with the books, and now, thank God, I'm so excited there are more ones coming out. The Marianne, the Mouse book, Mrs. Magical book. So what's next? Is there going to be another one coming out?
I'm old enough for a memoir, which is coming out in October.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't even know that. Oh, I'm so excited. What's it called?
Logical Family.
What does that mean?
Mrs. Magical said about 4 books ago, you have your biological family, and then you have your logical family. And that was the case with me, really. And I'm always envious of people whose biologicals are logical. Alan Cummings' mother is in the audience tonight.
Oh my God,
Mary Darling.
wonderful.
And his mother-in-law, Randy, is in the audience tonight. And he's extremely nervous about his movie tomorrow night because his mother's going to see it. And, you know.
She's on cabaret. She's fine. James.
So
that's right, really.
Seth and I live in New York City, and as you probably know or imagine, New York City apartments are quite small, and we don't have a lot of wall space. But hanging on our wall is a certain letter that I bought years before I met Seth, and I bought it in the Castro, I guess probably in 2002, and it's a letter to Mama that Mouse wrote, right?
Yeah, it was actually my letter to my parents 40 years ago this spring. I was Anita Bryant, who was yet another motivating force. I know. That's the one guaranteed reaction I can get in a public performance. But she had mobilized a lot of us. I was very angry. I had read the wire service when she formed her Save Our Children Foundation. And by the wildest coincidence, Michael Tolliver, my character, was the son of Florida orange growers. And Anita Bryant, of course, was, you know, the spokesperson for Florida orange juice. So I wrote a letter that he wrote to his mother when she said she had joined the Save Our Children Foundation. And I realize we haven't logistically worked this out. I'm going to have to pull it out of my ass.
So I asked Armistead if he would read that letter. Here, you need to hold something for you here? I got it. Here, I got it. Here, I'll get that. I'll get this.
Thank you. All right.
All right. The unveiling here.
It looks like I'm presenting a proclamation.
Should have had you here earlier with Roy O'Malley.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You need help?
This is the version you have on your
That's
bedroom
literally,
wall.
I almost brought it because but the frame I thought would break on the way here, but this is the letter.
This is the way to do it, actually. If you could hold that.
I'm happy to hold it for you.
Do you mind?
Sure. You got enough light there?
Yeah,
Tell me where to hold
got it. Dear Mama, I'm sorry it's taken me so long to write. Every time I try to write, oh, you bless your little heart.
I've been waiting for this moment for 15 years. I'm going to enjoy it.
You know, we're connected. This amazing thing, I always talk about gay genealogy, but those of us who managed to connect with a previous generation feel this connection that goes on forever. 30, 40 years ago, Christopher Isherwood was my great hero, the man that wrote the Berlin Stories and created a brilliant vehicle for Alan Cumming, and is the reason that I met Alan, because I went backstage after he reinvigorated that role. All right, enough of that. Dear Mama, I'm sorry it's taken me so long to write. Every time I try to write to you and Papa, I realize I'm not saying the things that are in my heart. That would be okay if I loved you any less than I do, but you are still my parents and I am still your child. I have friends who think I'm foolish to write this letter. I hope they're wrong. I hope their doubts are based on parents who loved and trusted them less than mine do. I hope especially that you'll see this as an act of love on my part, a sign of my continuing need to share my life with you. I wouldn't have written, I guess, if you hadn't told me about your involvement in the Save Our Children campaign. That, more than anything, made it clear to me that my responsibility was to tell you the truth, that your own child is homosexual, and that I never needed saving from anything except the cruel and ignorant piety of people like Anita Bryant. I'm sorry, Mama, not for what I am, but how you must feel at this moment. I know what that feeling is, for I felt it for most of my life. Revulsion, shame, disbelief, rejection through fear of something I knew, even as a child, was as basic to my nature as the color of my eyes. No, Mama, I wasn't recruited. No seasoned homosexual ever served as my mentor. But you know what? I wish someone had. I wish someone older than me and wiser than the people in Orlando had taken me aside and said, "You're all right, kid. You can grow up to be a doctor or a teacher just like anyone else. You're not crazy or sick or evil. You can succeed and be happy and find peace with friends. All kinds of friends who don't give a damn who you go to bed with. Most of all, though, you can love and be loved without hating yourself for it." But no one ever said that to me, Mama. I had to find it out on my own with the help of the city that has become my home. I know this may be hard for you to believe, but San Francisco is full of men and women, both straight and gay, who don't consider sexuality in measuring the worth of another human being. These aren't radicals or weirdos, Mama. They are shop clerks and bankers and little old ladies and people who nod and smile to you when you meet them on the bus. Their attitude is neither patronizing nor pitying, and their message is so simple. Yes, you are a person. Yes, I like you. Yes, it's all right for you to like me too. I know what you must be thinking now. You're asking yourself, what did we do wrong? How did we let this happen? Which one of us made him that way? I can't answer that, Mama. In the long run, I guess I really don't care. All I know is this: if you and Papa are responsible for the way I am, then I thank you with all my heart, for it's the light and the joy of my life. I know I can't tell you what it is to be gay, but I can tell you what it's not. It's not hiding behind words, Mama, like family and decency and Christianity. It's not fearing your body or the pleasures that God made for it. It's not judging your neighbor except when he's crass or unkind. Being gay has taught me tolerance, compassion, and humility. It has shown me the limitless possibilities of living. It has given me people whose passion and kindness and sensitivity have provided a constant source of strength. It has brought me into the family of man, Mama, and I like it here. I like it. There's not much else I can say except that I'm the same Michael you've always known. You just know me better now. I have never consciously done anything to hurt you. I never will. There's not much else I can say. Please don't feel you have to answer this right away. It's enough for me to know that I no longer have to lie to the people who taught me to value the truth. Mary Ann sends her love. Everything is fine at 28 Barbary Lane. Your loving son, Michael.
Amazing. He's a trailblazer.
So, I don't want to step on Armistead's very deserved applause, but he's very generously, he told me before we went on the stage, that if someone wants to bid on this piece of parchment that he has signed and just read from, he will donate it to Concert for America.
And sweat it on.
So, for the sake of time, you can email us concertforamerica@gmail, and we'll get a bid, I'm sure, or multiple after watching this and hearing you. And thank you very much.
Wait, James, am I introducing my song? You literally went through a state of shock. Okay, I'm going to introduce it then. For those of you who are still struggling, and there are a lot of viewers out there in a lot of different states. I got a wonderful letter from South Dakota, and I know it's harder in other places. For those of you who are still struggling to live your authentic selves, like many of us during tough times, we need to be reminded that there is light out there. It just might be a climb. Please welcome one more time your son or your son-in-law, 2 women out there, the amazing Tony Award winner, Alan Cumming.
Thank you. Before I sing, I want to say there's sort of like a big elephant in the room tonight, a big tennis-playing elephant. And I'm Scottish, in case you didn't realize, and we're usually a little more forthright. And so I'm going to summon up the spirit of a very, very amazing Scotsman to try and help us expunge the feelings that I'm sure we all, most of us at least, all share. His name is Robert Burns. He's a poet. He's the national poet of Scotland. He lived in the 18th century, and for those of you who don't know, he was a very, very progressive man, politically and socially. For example, he wrote a poem in 1792 advocating the need for women's rights. So we could do with them back now, I think, girls. And so this is, it's not a poem of his, actually, but it's actually written by an American man named Steve Siddle, but it's written in the style of Robert Burns. And it's actually a letter to the President of the United States of America. He doesn't specify which one. I'll let you make up your mind which one you think it is. So here we go. Thou eunuch of thought, thou New Yorker who was never south of Mulberry, thou crackpot pitching nostrums of empirical nothing, thou homewrecker of hard-working families, thou monkey with drums hammering arrhythmic absurdities, thou butcher with unbloodied hands, thou pimp of liberty, thou antithesis of eloquence, thou slumlord of towering babble, thou quaffed confusion uglier than plugs, thou homo reclinus who has never known a hard day's of work, thou peacock of unabashed ignorance, thou thespian of idiot soliloquy, thou baleful omen of idiocracy, go fuck yourself. Happy Pride. And now, a strangely very appropriate song. I can almost see it, this dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head says, you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. I'm losing faith, but I've gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high, 'cause there's always going to be another mountain. I'm always going to want to make it move. It's always going to be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. It's not about how fast I get there. It's not about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. These struggles I'm facing, these chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'll remember most. I just gotta keep going, and I gotta stay strong and just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always going to want to make it move. It's always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. It's not about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. It's the climb.
much. Lance Horn, beautiful band.
How are we going?
I've got to give a special shout out to my amazing band who learned all this music basically today. We have Kevin Rowland, we have Lane Sanders on drums, we have Joe Quigley on bass, and the most appropriate name, Neil Castro, his last name, on guitar. And of course, Greg Callahan, my Paige Turner. Okay, hey Greg. All right, okay. Anyone else we have to do? No, that's it, right? That's all we have to say.
I think you're missing your card, but you know what to say.
Basically our last song, right?
That's right.
Okay, so we wanted it's Gay Pride, and we wanted the most amazing last song for Gay Pride. Right. So please welcome to the stage. I've known her since she was starring off Broadway. Do you know what show this is? Here, guess what show? Anybody? What show? Thank you. She sang. I became obsessed with her. Yes. She was off Broadway. Then she took over for Idina Menzel. Yeah. It's the amazing, for this last song, the amazing Shoshana Bean. All right, here's the last song. What do you think it's going to be? And...
Last chance for love. Yeah, it's your last chance for romance tonight. Oh, I need you by me, beside me, to guide me, to hold me, to scold me. 'Cause when I'm bad, I'm so, so bad. So let's dance, the last dance. Let's dance, the last dance. Let's dance, the last dance tonight. Last dance, last chance for love. Oh, it's my last chance for romance tonight. Oh, I need you right by me, beside me, to guide me, hold me, scold me. 'Cause when I'm bad, I'm so, so bad. Let's dance, the last dance. Come on, let's dance, the last dance. Let's dance, the last dance tonight. Get up, come on. Oh, I need you by me, beside me, to guide me, hold me, and scold me. 'Cause when I'm bad, I'm so, so bad. Let's dance, the last dance. Let's dance, oh, the last dance. Let's dance, the last dance tonight.
Shoshana Bean and the whole cast of Concert for America. Thanks, San Francisco. We love you. Let's try it. The dance break. 5, 6, 7, and. Exit music. you so much for supporting it.